Hello, hello, and welcome to the Hockey Hotbed, presented as always by the Hockey Podcast Network. My name is Nick Brlansky, and I have a great show for you guys today. Obviously, leading off the show with some extremely surprising news. Obviously, Ben Bishop had not been healthy at all this season up to this point, but the news coming out over the weekend that his career is in fact over, not only just in Dallas, but in general. Ben Bishop is done in the National Hockey League. So we will talk about that, obviously, to start off the show. Just shocking news coming down the pipe on Saturday from general manager Jim Nill of the Dallas Stars. But a little bit later, starting in the second segment, I'm going to go through and preview every single hockey game that is going to happen on Tuesday, because there are 14 games. 28 of the 32 NHL franchises in action on Tuesday. I'm going to go through every single matchup, and I'm also going to give my thoughts on where these teams are at this point in the season. We have a couple of grade A matchups on Tuesday for sure, so stay tuned while I go down and preview through that and talk about almost every single team in the NHL. Basically talking about 28 of the 32 teams across the National Hockey League starting in segment 2. But like I mentioned, I want to start off by talking about Ben Bishop. Obviously, heartbreaking news that the 35-year-old netminder's career is in fact over. He will remain on the long-term injured reserve with the Dallas Stars due to a degenerative knee issue. This is an issue that has been plaguing Ben Bishop since the last game he played in the National Hockey League, which was during the bubble in 2020, during the Dallas Stars' great run to the Stanley Cup Finals. He last played in Game 5 of the 2020 Western Conference Finals against the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, following that season, he did have surgery to repair a torn meniscus, hoping that, eventually make his return, join Anton Khudobin in a great goaltending duo there in Dallas, and hopefully try again for that elusive Stanley Cup for Ben Bishop, as that was the second time one of his teams had made it to the promised land, just not able to get over the hump. So the question then became, when is he going to return? He missed all of last year's COVID-shortened season. He was not ready for the beginning of play this year. He was most recently on a rehab stint with the AHL club. And then, of course, on Saturday, the news coming out that Ben Bishop's career, in fact, is over, and he will be hanging him up, staying on the LTIR for the remainder of his contract with that degenerative knee issue. Just unfortunate news for the Dallas Stars fans, unfortunate news for Ben Bishop and his family. But I didn't actually think that he was in the league for as long as he was. I mean, 11-year NHL career. He was drafted way back in 2005. I feel like, you look at 2005 draft, you have Sidney Crosby, and it's felt like he's been in the league for a while, but it has not felt like Ben Bishop has been there for just as long. I mean, clearly he was not starting right out the gate like Crosby, but an 11-year career in the National Hockey League for the netminder. He was the third-round pick in 2005 of the St. Louis Blues. Throughout those 11 years, he played for St. Louis. He had a quick stop in Ottawa, really hit his stride when he went to Tampa Bay, which we'll talk about in just a minute. Went to LA at around the trade deadline, played a little bit for the LA Kings, and then he finished off in Dallas, where he had actually some of his best years. I know a lot of people might not know this, but he had his best career season in Dallas, which we'll talk about. Over that course of the 11-year career, obviously a two-time NHL All-Star. He played in 413 regular season games, 222 wins, a .921 save percentage, and a 2.32 goals allowed average. So for all intents and purposes, Ben Bishop was an absolutely outstanding goaltender for the majority of his career. His total career numbers are really impressive, and it's unfortunate that the end of his career had to end the way it did, with all the injuries and the knee issues and not being able to be available for the last couple of years of his career. He was also a Vezina finalist 3 times. Top 5 3 times. Twice he finished in second place, just not able to get over the hump. But still, a guy that was highly regarded for several seasons as one of the top goaltenders in the National Hockey League. He's a massive figure. He's a guy that if you got the puck past him, it was not going to be down low, because he took up so much of the bottom of the net with those massive tree trunks of legs. So he was a fantastic goaltender pretty much in every stop, but especially in 2013-14 is when he really started to hit it off. His first full season in Tampa Bay. He was there the year prior for a little bit, but that was his first full season with the Tampa Bay Lightning, and that's when he started to hit that other level. That's when he became in the upper echelon of NHL goaltenders, having an absolutely phenomenal season. Then you look at the next season, he helps the Tampa Bay Lightning the whole way to the Stanley Cup Finals, his first appearance, the only appearance as the healthy goaltender of record for Ben Bishop. He goes the whole way to the Stanley Cup Final, only to be shut down by a really, really good, like historically good Chicago Blackhawks team. So Ben Bishop, absolutely tremendous run in that Stanley Cup playoffs, 3 shutouts as part of it, taking the Tampa Bay Lightning the whole way to the Cup Final. And he also, the following season, had him right back there, not the whole way to the finals, but they were in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Pittsburgh Penguins, who eventually won the Stanley Cup in 2016. And that's when he first dealt with a massive, massive injury, goes down. Andrei Vasilevsky comes in, and that kind of spelled the beginning of the end for Ben Bishop in Tampa Bay. He had been so good for that organization. He had been so good the year prior to take him to the Stanley Cup, but they had this young guy in Vasilevsky. They wanted to see what they had in him. They were forced to see what they had in him due to the injury of Ben Bishop in the East Finals in 2016. Vasilevsky looked great. I mean, he took him the whole way to the brink, went to 7 games, had a 3-2 series lead on the Pittsburgh Penguins, just couldn't get the job done. Obviously, now we know that Andrei Vasilevsky is probably the best goaltender in the world right now. 2-time Stanley Cup champion, also won several other awards, Vezina Trophy winner. So no shame for Ben Bishop losing his job to that guy, because that guy, now is the best goaltender in the league. It's just unfortunate timing for Ben Bishop that he goes out. That happens. And then the following season, he's traded to the Los Angeles Kings. He lost the net to Andrei Vasilevsky, goes to the Kings at around the trade deadline. Him and Jonathan Quick are going to try to revive something in LA in 2017. Just didn't happen. Didn't work out well. And then that following summer, he was traded to Dallas in the summer of 2017, which is his 5th team, his final team, and his final destination, where he played in parts of, I believe now 3 seasons, if you consider the fact that he didn't play last year and he has not played this year. But if you look at 2018-19 was his career best season. You talk about a guy who a lot of people thought peaked in 2015 when he took the Tampa Bay Lightning the whole way to the Stanley Cup Finals. But no, he peaked in 2018-19 with the Dallas Stars, a part of that team that eventually would end up the following season going the whole way to the Stanley Cup Final. So he started to play on a very good team there in Dallas, 27-15-2 with a .934 save percentage, a 198 goals allowed average, and 7 shutouts on the season. An absolutely phenomenal season by Ben Bishop in Dallas, only his 2nd year there. And you were starting to think, okay, Ben Bishop is back. Like, this is what we're going to expect. He's back. This is Stanley Cup Finals Ben Bishop from 2015. Well, the following season, obviously dealing with a little bit of injuries, gets hurt in the playoffs, is gone. Anton Khudobin steps in and goes on a miracle run to the Stanley Cup Finals, only to fall short to, of course, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and a very big slap across the face if you're Ben Bishop, that team getting over the hump there against the Dallas Stars when Bishop can't even do anything about it. He's on the bench. Actually, he's hurt. He's not even on the bench. But at this point now, a fantastic career for Ben Bishop. We ran down through that. If you look at the accolades, is he a Hockey Hall of Famer? I don't know if I would go as far to say that, but he was a fantastic goaltender for several years. He was one of the top goaltenders in the National Hockey League for a couple of seasons as well. So we wish him all the best. Our thoughts and prayers go out to him. It sucks to have your career ended by an injury, especially one like this where you've been rehabbing it. He's been trying to get back, but unfortunately just not going to be able to get over that hump with a degenerative knee issue. So we wish Ben Bishop all the best. Looking at the Dallas Stars, for them, they've kind of positioned themselves. I feel like they might have seen, they might not have seen his career coming to an end, but they had a feeling that, Ben Bishop's injury issues towards the end of his career from 2015 on had been something that you had to take into account. Obviously, they had Khudobin in the 2020 playoffs, and that's why they were able to get as far as they did. They still have Anton Khudobin. He was on trade rumors because they had 4 NHL caliber goaltenders is what they've been saying. Obviously, they were waiting for Ben Bishop to come back. They still have Anton Khudobin. Jake Ottinger is a really good young option for them, and he's been playing extremely well to start the season. And then they have Stanley Cup champion goaltender Braden Holtby. After a really bad season in Vancouver, it seems like Holtby's starting to settle back in to the starting role down there in Dallas, especially when, he doesn't have as much pressure on him there because you have Ottinger, you have Khudobin. If you need to take a break, if you need to try to recharge your batteries, you have the guys behind you and the horses behind you that can help. So I don't know if the Stars are still going to be looking to trade Hudobin. It's nice to have 3 NHL caliber guys, especially when the rest of your team, you can fit it under the cap. It's nice to have that just in case, but it might be, a situation where somebody gives you a player or a piece that can really help you towards the end of the season. Right now, the Dallas Stars sit in 6th place in the Central Division, but they had been the hottest team in the NHL earlier in the month towards the late end of November. Right now, they're 13, 10, and 2 with 28 standings points. Like I mentioned, 6th in the Central Division, but not too far off of Winnipeg or Colorado as well. They have 2 games in hand on Winnipeg, so they can jump them fairly easily. The Dallas Stars playing extremely well at home. They need to fix the road record. On the road, they're 4-8-1. At home, they're 9-2-1. So if they can get a little bit better on the road, they could probably jump up in the standings a little bit more. 7-3 in their last 10. So they're a team that has been up and down. They started pretty rough on the season, kind of turned it around, and lately have just lost a couple of games. But goaltending, they should still be set. Braden Holtby is a Stanley Cup winning guy. It seems like he's catching his footing back. Jake Ottinger is a young stud that is going to be the future of this franchise. He's going to be, and he's starting to play like that this season. And Anton Hudobin, we'll see. Now that they don't have that safety of Ben Bishop possibly coming back, we'll see if they decide that they want to go and part from Anton Hudobin or not. But the main point of this, obviously, is Ben Bishop. Like I said earlier, thoughts and prayers to him. Fantastic career by him. We don't know what's next for Ben Bishop. If it's a media career, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But definitely shocking news that came across the wire on Saturday, and we wish Ben Bishop all the best in his postseason career. But we're going to take a quick break here at the Hockey Hotbed. When I return, going down every single one of the 14 National Hockey League games starting tonight. We'll be right back.